if they're not going to move the embassy until there's a two-state solution, I mean, particularly given the violence that we saw after the U.S. made that similar announcement, why do it at all?
Well, it's a very good question. This is actually cleaning up a political mess that Prime Minister Scott Morrison created a month or so ago in the middle of what was a single electorate election campaign here. Our previous Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull was ousted as Prime Minister, resigned from Parliament, and there was an election in his old seat. There's a very strong Jewish population in that seat. And in an attempt to try and hold on to that seat, which in fact was lost by the government in the end, Scott Morrison announced this possibility that he would move the embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Now, it was met with great deal of surprise and criticism for having made the announcement without any forward planning. And in fact, it is contrary to previous advice from our security agencies. So he is now backpedaling and trying to find a compromise.
Has there been any reaction thus far from Australia's diplomatic partner countries on this?
Yes, so of course, as you say, Israel was very excited at the prospect that Australia might follow the United States, and of course, the United States supported that decision initially too. But our near neighbours, Indonesia, a very populous Muslim country to the north of Australia, was extremely upset, both at the prospect of the embassy moving and also at the way the announcement was made and the lack of prior warning or consultation. So this has proven very difficult in Australia's diplomatic relationships around the Asian region, and that's why the Prime Minister has decided not to progress it. It was also going to cost Australia some $200 million at a minimum because it doesn't have any embassy premises in Jerusalem. It only has premises in Tel Aviv. So what we're expecting the Prime Minister to announce now is that some kind of co-location of a consulate or something with another country that already has Jerusalem premises. And as I say, recognition, which is an attempt to go halfway towards the announcement he made.
Are they bracing, though, for a backlash on this from the Palestinians? Have we seen any reaction there?
Well, that is indeed what was behind those security warnings from Australia's security agencies earlier in the year. After the United States made its decision, the Australian government, under then Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull and Foreign Minister Julie Bishop, investigated the possibility that Australia might follow and was given a very strong advice from the security agencies that there was a risk of unrest in the Middle East and of Australians being targeted if this went ahead because it would anger the Palestinians and other countries in the region that supported the Palestinian cause. So there is now some concern, and indeed there are security warnings for Australians travelling even to Indonesia that this whole issue, having been canvassed in public, may well put some security pressure on Australians travelling both in the Middle East and in the region.